Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. The email is in the description below, the direct service inquiry line from you to me and my crew for questions you have about this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the 2019 Omega de Ville Tresor. Now we have the Tresor, a master chronometer and in steel with blue linen dial, arguably the version Omega should have launched when it first revived the Tresor name back in 2014. But it's here now for us to enjoy. 40 millimeters in diameter in polished stainless steel, the watch has glorious tapered and integrated lugs and a lovely compound curved case, a graceful 10.3 millimeters thick, and as you can see from lug to lug, a nicely constrained 44.5 millimeters, so this is a universal option for any wrist size. 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs looks handsomely proportional, and it also gives you a universe of options in the universal 20 millimeter strap size. Now the strap that's included is high grade, large rectangular scale alligator leather, navy blue, monotone stitch in a folded edge, more natural calf skin color on the underside, and of course it is a new Omega factory strap with a stainless steel pin buckle. It is a good looking watch from any angle. The bezel is flat, conical, and adds a strong character line where it joins with the mid case. Now the case is all of high polish, bezel included. You'll note that the timepiece, designed to evoke vintage Omega dress watches, features a generously box-profiled cambered sapphire designed to evoke vintage plexiglass. Now when you roll it over to the crown side, you can see the crown is signed and minimalist. The dial, however, is spectacular. The linen texture, occasionally seen on Omega watches, though more often associated with the Rolex brand. There's a crosshatch stitching, and as you can see, a gradient effect whereby there is a sort of faded set of patches that occupy various parts of the dial, giving it an uneven coloration that is quite reminiscent of linen or even denim jeans. It's handsome, it's beautifully textured, it has variable texture and tone, so truly excellent detailing here. One of the finest linen effects I've seen on a dial. You have applique indices, and you can see that they are doubled up at the quarters, 12, 3, 6, and 9. This is a flagship piece, so we have applique indices on the dial. We also have a monotone date disc in blue to match the dial itself. Now the watch features both hacking or stop seconds, and now I can set the watch precisely to a reference time, or I can activate the time zone function, and you can see how easy it is for me to activate the hour hand independently, and I can turn it while the watch keeps time as I travel. I'm also able to adjust as I cross the international date line, turning the date in either direction. So I have those two subsidiary setting functions, stop seconds and the time zone feature. 30 meters water resistant, so it's not an aquatic timepiece. I'll give you a quick idea how it looks on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and you can see 40 millimeters. It's a full-sized dress watch, but at 44.5 millimeters lug to lug, plenty of clearance on both sides, and you can see at 10.3 millimeters just how flat it really is on the wrist. So this one nice and flush and a great unisex option. Also, despite being 40, being less than 45 millimeters lug to lug is truly impressive packaging by Omega, designed to make the appeal of this watch universal and unisex. Now you also appreciate that this is one of the rare applications of an Omega Co-Axial caliber without automatic winding. That makes the watch both easier to observe through the caseback and thinner overall. Here we have the Master Chronometer caliber 8910, Maytaz certified, 72-hour manual wind power reserve, 2 mainspring barrels, which rather than giving the watch a huge power reserve, though 3 days is impressive, the 2 barrels help to prevent the watch from running excessively fast or slow as it's wound and discharged. 2 barrels can give a watch better timing stability than 1 huge barrel. Now the movement, which features 29 joules, is adjusted in 6 positions. I mentioned it's a Maytaz chronometer, a standard developed between Omega and the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology. Why is it important? Because it takes all of the old COSC standards and adds more. Rather than 5-position adjustment, 6-position adjustment. Rather than testing a bare movement the way the COSC would, Maytaz tests the fully cased up watch. Maytaz also adds tests of power reserve, of water resistance, of anti-magnetism, in addition to chronometric precision. The watch also quite tough for a dress watch, a full balance bridge and a free sprung index for shock resistance, and an SI14 silicone hairspring for anti-magnetism, all of that beating away with the coaxial specific beat rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour. That's more or less unique to these watches. A few other brands have it, but always in specialist applications like, for example, resonance watches or the Patek Philippe Grandmaster chime. That's impressive company for this timepiece, which also features the Omega coaxial escapement, which is both a direct and an indirect impulse escapement system, originally envisioned by George Daniels in 1974 and industrialized by Omega in 1999, now perfected for this 2019 model. One of the most beautiful Omega dress watches in memory. You can see and own this Ville Tresor in stainless steel on the watch box. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com.